Now then, TJ, to get things underway, if you are of a Team Europe frame of mind, shall we say, then you might as well put the commentator's curse on this man already and invite him to bowl the 300 game. But there's nobody can touch Tommy Jones in terms of the 300 record. And we could be on for it, Cass, or is that a little too early?
Simon, it's much too early. I mean, it was a good-looking shot, and he's got a strike. So, yes, he's on the road. Only another 11 to go.
He does have a phenomenal record, though, doesn't he, with the 300 games?
He's actually bowled 300 games at this tournament. First one was in 2007 against Thomas Lee Anderson, 2008 against Tory Torgerson, and 2009 against the European captain, Oscar Palermo. Well, a tentative little shot there from Stuart Williams, just testing the water, but got it absolutely perfect, right in the pocket. Navy. Has had a quiet time on the American tour this year, but won a big tournament in Japan and picked up loads of money. There's the American Appreciation Society.
Trying to suggest a possible 3-2 scoreline at the end of this one in favour of the Reds. We will see. We will see. You don't rush into something when you're not ready to bowl. You just wait for it all to be right.
Very true, Simon. Yeah, the problem with Stuart here is he's got to play catch up every shot now, and catch up very nicely. 2 strikes apiece. But whatever Tommy does, Stuart Williams has got to do.
Quite a long way left, but watch him control the pace on this ball. He really is reining himself in here.
Perfect shot down at about 45 feet. Carries the 5-pin straight out and all 10. The man with not the greatest follow-through. People have said that he keeps his eyes low and doesn't follow through. Releases that ball at his feet, but the arm doesn't come through. But certainly does get a reaction. And Tommy Jones is just taken a re-rack of the pins, which he's allowed to do.
Comments have a PBA title to their name.
I was just going to say that Stuart does admit to playing green bowls, which is a game played in the north of England. And yeah, they released the ball quite early there. Go TJ. 3 strikes in a row. Well, it was worth taking a re-rack, wasn't it? The pins have stood up in the right place. He's put the ball in the 1-3 pocket and carried all 10.
Well, Cass, I admit I was wrong to call for a 300 for Tommy Jones at the start of this game, because I think there's going to be 2.
Yeah, well, that's sort of kind of final, isn't it?
Williams then to try and match TJ. Sticks with that same line, put a little bit more behind that delivery, and that was consequently more convincing, and I think maybe that shoulder is just loosening up now.
Yeah, he's looking very good, actually. He gets a lot of rotation from the hand onto this ball. It's in a perfect position. Comes off well, hits perfect in the pocket and carries all 10. 3 strikes in a row apiece, and so consequently, it's going to be a 7-frame shootout between these two.
Those 3 strikes, they call it a turkey in ten-pin bowling, if you were unaware of that. And again, great pocket shot. That got what it deserved.
Tommy Jones did ask a couple of years ago if he could take this lane home with him to practice on, but it doesn't look as though he certainly didn't take it home, but he doesn't really need to. He's just settled straight in, isn't he?
Even he's thinking it, Cass. Even he's thinking it.
I was just going to say, I wonder if he's wondering.
Well, let's see if Williams can keep this excitement alive. This would make 8 strikes between the two of them. And 8 strikes it is.
We could probably go away for a couple of minutes and then come back and see what the score is like then. Both players perfect through 4. Stu Williams ranked number 2 on the European ranking tour so far this year, behind Don Barrett. So they're best of buddies in there.
And takes his time over the thumb going into the ball. So he's a thumb first, fingers second man.
Which actually is very unusual, Simon. Most players are fingers first, thumb after. But TJ, you can't argue with it.
Oh, you definitely can't argue with him. And he's starting to talk a bit now as well.
He does get animated on the lanes. He starts to settle down, enjoys it. He knows what he's doing. This is enjoying. He's hit 5 strikes in a row. Why will things change? Well, we don't know. He doesn't want to change. He just wants to stay in that pocket. Getting locked, loaded. And Stuart Williams is on the end of it, but at the moment, he's holding his own at 300 apiece.
Williams with the slightly more reserved style of the two. Dumps it down and dumps all 10 down. Beautifully done.
That's 10 strikes in a row between these two players, and it just goes to show on a lane condition that is conducive to both their styles, they've got locked in straight away with the mental game. Everything else comes naturally, and they're just blasting that pocket and ripping all 10 out every time.
Those 5 strikes.
Whoops.
Oh, no, no, no. And he maybe has slow bowled himself out of this one. I told you he wouldn't get 300, Cass.
Oh, Simon, stop that. You could actually see as that ball came off his hand, it was just a fraction wide, wasn't it, down the lane. Just watch this. Off the hand, just a bit more speed, and it doesn't quite get back. And that's 6 pin facing a possible maximum if he can strike again. Jones takes the spare. His maximum drops to 279.
Well, it kept Stuart Williams in his chair a lot longer, but not in the way that he wanted.
But you see the difference in the score from 300 down to 279. A single pin spare with all those strikes around it, and you lose 21 pins on that one shot. Williams for 10.
Beautifully done. What a way to keep yourself focused. And Tommy Jones straight over. He's the first man to low 5 him on that strike. Players will look at the floor, have nothing to do with their opponent, but Stuart's not like that. He does like a little look around and a chat. And that's very good. That's a very good response from Tommy Jones, but from his point of view, the damage has already been done, and he's already shown Williams a possible route to a point here.
Pins to make sure they're all there, obviously. And now goes into the mental mode, and it's just robotic from here on.
Yeah, well, that's 7 pin, just a little sluggish. And they always say, on your way to the maximum, you're going to need a bit. Maybe this was it. It wasn't a bad ball by any means.
It's just a tad inside his mark. It's a tad high on the head pin. Gets the action in the back end, gets that 7 pin out. And that is 7 strikes in a row. And boy, is Stuart and the rest of the European guys enjoying themselves. No.
Well, that would be an extreme reversal of fortune, wouldn't it?
Well, Jones isn't going to stop striking if he can help it. Yeah, back in there. He's got to keep this game alive, because if Stu Williams has, unfortunately, may have a split or an open frame, Jones will be straight back in there into the lead.
Well, 279 will beat most people, and that's what TJ will be keeping at the back of his mind. Your allegiance, isn't it, at moments like this? Come on, Stuart. No, leaves the ring in 10. That was never coming back to the pocket with any conviction. Now then, this is where the mental game really starts, because he will be frustrated by that. He'll be infuriated by that. But there's still a game. There's still a point to win here. And he needs to just get that out of his thoughts and think about what is coming next. And what is coming next is well, what should be a straightforward 10-pin spare.
First one of the game. Makes it look easy, but under pressure.
Well, it was all looking so good for so long, but Stuart Williams in the end couldn't quite keep that run of strikes going, and we are back to all square.
Yeah, they can both do it, but Jones, again, slowing the game right down. Certainly won't be rushed, will he? It was a very big ball, because it was frame number 9. It's the 3rd strike in a row, and he's still on for that 279.
Backlift from Tommy Jones is immense. I mean, it is the very definition of the phrase cranker.
And how about this for some body language? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't meet Tommy on a dark night when he's been
to
bowled.
his chair. Williams trying to just keep the rhythm here, so he's quite quick into his deliveries. And that one Again, I think he was a little concerned that wasn't coming back to the pocket, but he's got a very nice carry on the pins there. Finish here. And, well, you wouldn't bet against it, Cass, going all the way to a two-frame roll-off.
Or more.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, stop. Well, it's all the way, isn't it? It's just out of the pocket as well, but it's carried all 10, and that's another 4 strikes in a row.
And the two-man Team USA Appreciation Society are hoping to bolster their numbers as this tournament goes on. Applauding Tommy Jones.
All raised up.
It's looking good. Cleared for takeoff. And finally, Tommy Jones gets it away. And that is worth the wait, I think the phrase is.
That was a very valuable ball. Yeah, it now sets him up for the at least 270. He's got 269 scored with 1 ball to go.
As the mark. There we go, and the very best that Stuart Williams can get from this match now is the opportunity to go into a 2-frame roll-off to claim the point.
Simon, how close was that to a 300 game?
It's just awesome.
He left
it really
one single pin standing, and that would have been a 300 game. Tommy Jones loves Barnsley. Well, certainly the Metrodome anyway.
Barnsley.
Pressure time right back on Stuart Williams. He needs 3 strikes or Team USA have won.
Oh, and he gets a bit of luck on the 10-pin. He'll take it as well.
That wasn't luck, that was a great strike, Simon. Come on.
He needs another 2 of those, but just from the point of view of his own peace of mind, he would prefer them to be a little more straightforward than this one. The messenger gets across and does its job. Just a little love tap, as Tim Mack used to call them.
Well, that's the first one. He knows he needs 2 more. Look at Mika, absolutely loves it. He's very much under pressure, he knows it. But what a great game this is.
Fantastic scenes here in Barnsley, this point. Very important to Stuart Williams. Oh, and he's gone Brooklyn for the strike.
He obviously meant that shot to go Brooklyn. It's exhibition time. That was just fantastic.
Taking the strikes any which way. How about this? The wrong side for the right-hander going into the 1-2 pocket, and he's cleaned them all out.
He's inside his mark by about 4 boards, which is about 4 inches. It's gone left, and the head pin has taken down 2 pins at the back there. Just ridiculous. How about that?
I told you Stuart Williams was a character. Forget the nervy interview at the top of this match. Now we're seeing what this young man's all about. This then, to take it to a roll-off, got to be a strike.
Strike for a tie.
No, and his luck's run out straight through the head pin. And the point goes begging from Team Europe's point of view, and Tommy Jones does what he's done so many times here in Barnsley, Cass. He's closed the deal.
He kept the game going by returning from that spare and striking off. And unfortunately, it was Stuart Williams that just couldn't hold it until the last ball. 275, 279. What a great game.
Boy, was that close. Fantastic entertainment from Tommy Jones and Stuart Williams. But in the end...